Well, good morning. If it is morning for you, I am enjoying a hot beverage this morning. And I want to share something I came across, get your opinion, because I want to just share some observations. Okay. So without further ado, let me share it. It's a commercial. Okay.
What's going on, guys?
This isn't easy to say.
Your mother and I think you're hooked on phonics.
It's preposterous.
I found this under your pillow.
I just read that for the pictures.
There are no pictures in a dictionary.
That's your opinion.
Just admit it, you're hooked on phonics.
Okay, you got me. I'm hooked on phonics.
You go.
Sweetie, we love you. When your father and I saw that Hooked on Phonics was still helping millions of families and teachers help kids learn to read, we decided to try it. 30 days later, you were reading and spelling.
Dad, don't you think Mom's being a little melodramatic?
Don't talk to your mother that way. I think
Do you know what that means?
that's not the point. The point is, when you're hooked on phonics, yes, you can read and it's comfortable.
Nietzsche said that sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed.
Give me that.
Nietzsche. Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
I always thought Nietzsche was a pasta.
It is. Nietzsche carbonara.
Nietzsche's a German philosopher. Everybody knows that.
There has got to be some middle ground here.
That's called a compromise. And compromise leads to resentment.
So does using words that your parents don't understand.
Okay, Hooked on Phonics only cost us $1 to get started. And Hooked on Spelling comes with our subscription. So how about this? You get to keep your Hooked on Phonics, but you can only use words that Dad and I can understand.
This is stupendous.
Go put $1 in the swear jar.
Okay. With Hooked on Phonics, your child...
Okay. So, what did you think about that? Because I have a few thoughts. I see the trope of the intelligent child that they're smarter than their parents. And we've seen this trope really become very progressive as we, see generations, and each generation is supposed to be smarter. And, that, could be true in some cases, but it's so unbalanced where we see in popular culture and the narratives that they push are these super stellar wonder kinds, and they are smarter than their parents. Usually they pick on the father, but this is more progressive in seeing the mother being made a fool of as well. So this child is, Again, wonderkind, very precocious, which is cute. But I just want to say something. Okay, you may have been the wonderkind. I may have been the smart kid. My brother, your father, your grandmother, anybody that we know from school, we identify as, certain people are wonderkinds and they seem just like geniuses. But that's a heavy load to put on a child. And I'm sure people will give their opinions, and I'm going to love to hear from you because I watched this happen and I was guilty of doing it to a degree with my daughter because I allowed her to be passed up a grade. And I have to tell you, even just one grade makes such a difference. I'm sure you can agree in some cases that the child seems so different from the other children if you push your child up even just one grade. And the child socially and developmentally just seems a little younger. And you start to question, was this a good idea to do this? So let me know if you've done this or you were the kid that skipped. I mean, I've been in school, growing up where some kids were past maybe 2 grades. And let me know how many grades you've ever known, like the excessive amounts of grades. I know some kids go to college and all that stuff really young, but I have to say, in my observation, these type of children, they don't maintain that genius edge a lot of times. Let me know again what you think about that. It seems that they spend a lot of that, whatever that stellar energy in their youth. And when they become adults, whatever happens, they seem to either drop off or they're just really normal. Like they're not the smartest person in the room. They're just maybe not so bright anymore. But it's because I'm sure growing up where people idolize your intelligence and you're kind of put on a pedestal and it's like a show pony that you are this smart child and you have to recite poetry and all this stuff to impress your parents' friends. And I could talk for a long time about this subject. That's why this particular commercial, it spawned me to want to just make this real quick, okay, without a lot of planning, because I just want to see what you would say in the comment section about your experiences with this trope of the super smart kid, smarter than their parents. And this is the push that I've observed over time. And the children, they become arrogant. They're treated like celebrities and they can be arrogant and catered to, and all of the things that happen with celebrity and being an idol, a human idol for whomever. So that takes a toll on the child. And they are pushing this so hard where children, I'm seeing this younger and younger, where they are talking about these advanced things such as Nietzsche, for instance. I know that had to raise a red flag for you, but the child bringing up, of all people, Nietzsche, that's disturbing. And I know that it seems really cool and hip to go back in history for these young people and drum up these German philosophers and poets and things. But I can't imagine that they truly understand a person like Nietzsche and his effect on society and culture to this day, the nihilism. I don't know, but you have people that will defend someone like Nietzsche and, oh, well, he was misunderstood, but was he misunderstood? I mean, he's the one that famously declared that God is dead. And I don't know how that can be spun in a positive light. How was he misunderstood? Where he wrote poetry that was so anti God. It was such a slap in the face to people who, I mean, they could be struggling, especially when a lot of children are introduced to this type of philosophy. Well, I guess it's a lot younger now, but usually it was in high school, especially if you were in advanced classes, and definitely in college. That's when, they're wearing Che Guevara t-shirts and, Karl Marx, and they're saying things like, he was misunderstood. So for this to be shown in this trope where she brings up Nietzsche, it's a bit extreme. And I see a lot of hidden stuff, in what they are putting forth. So, Nietzsche again, going back to that, she's, reading Nietzsche, and, how can a young child, again, I know children can be very intelligent, but reading and all the push to just outperform, is that necessary? Is that healthy for a child to be pushed, to read really young and all this stuff just pushed? If it happens organically, that's amazing. But the pushing and the prodding and the chiding and the, all this molding that happens, the helicopter parenting, and all these devices and books and throwing all of these gadgets at children, when usually all they want to do is play with a box and a paper towel holder. Like, that could keep them busy for hours. So for her to bring Nietzsche up, and just the fact that she reads all of this advanced stuff, why couldn't it be just age appropriate? She's reading books that someone her age would enjoy. Because even though a child can read, I don't know, they probably have that Evelyn Wood speed reading class now resurrected, and they're, giving it to, babies to consume. But there's a difference between reading and comprehending what we are reading. And I would submit, and this is my opinion, that there will be very, very, very few children who would be able to read Nietzsche and comprehend what this man wrote and his impact. So they wouldn't be able to speak on it. And that's the whole thing, because reading and comprehending also come along with life experience. So a child with their limited life experiences to be put in a position where they're talking about Nietzsche, it's not fair. And it is a form of abuse. I'll go that far. I'll say it's abusive. And I hope that a lot of us repent. That's changing our mind from this pushing of children so hard when it comes to all of this academic stuff. I mean, all of the stuff in academia now, we're questioning everything, history and everything. So why should we put these people up on a pedestal to condition and teach our children? And we hold their intelligence and knowledge in such higher esteem than parents. And, I just want to say, in just closing, that Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher who said God is dead, who is the father of nihilism, this man in his young adult life, well, mid-adult, in his 40s, he suddenly collapsed and suffered a complete loss of his mental faculties. He was so like debilitated. He had no memory. He had to be on high, powerful narcotics just to sleep. And like, again, a catatonic philosopher, he was declared non compos mentis, of unsound mind. Something to think about, a person who declares that God is dead. Yeah. Not much more there, but thank you for listening. And I will, let you know about live streaming soon. But I just wanted to put this up here really quickly because I want to see what you're going to say about this. Okay. All right. Take care. Love you all.